So since I'm taking so long to finish this Lion King review, to make up for it, I decided to give my thoughts on an upcoming series, and that series, of course, is Hazbin Hotel. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen the pilot episode, but to those who haven't, let me get you up to speed on what the show is and why everyone is raving about it. Okay, let's see here. Rod and Stimpy is an American animated television show created by Hazbin Hotel is an independently funded, upcoming comedy/musical adult animated series created by Vivienne Medrano. The show takes place in hell, where the main character of the show, a demon princess named Charlie, wishes to create a hotel for rehabilitating demons, but everyone trashes her idea because they believe rehabilitating atheists is impossible. Now, you may be asking, Al, is this some shitty fanfiction created by Tumblr users? And to you I say maybe, but it's a bit more complicated. I'm not going to go into every bit of detail about the show because I'm intending for this to be a short review. If you want to watch the pilot episode, it's available on YouTube and it's only like 30 minutes long. Now that we've got that covered, I'd like to start giving my thoughts on it. In general, I did think the show was pretty great. After watching the pilot episode as well as interviews with the creators, it's clear that there's a lot of passion and talent behind this project. For starters, the 2D animation is excellent and a lot of effort was clearly put into it. The music is very well written and composed, and the music sequences give a lot of personality to the show.
You have a dream you wish to tell, and it's just laughable, but hey kid, what the hell? 'Cause you're one of a kind.
The setup of the story is also very creative and leaves the door open for many interesting ideas for upcoming episodes. Now, despite my overall opinion and the reception for the pilot episode being generally positive, there has been a bit of criticism for it.
Can you do my effeminate fellow?
I can suck your dick.
Or lack thereof. Many people obviously have been criticizing it for its comedy, and the reason for that is that it mostly relies on edgy humor and shock value. I do agree to a certain extent that some of the humor was a bit unsubtle and childish, but while I don't find it hilarious, it did get a few small chuckles out of me, and it never got to the point of being obnoxious. And after watching some of the stream highlights from the creators and the voice actors, they are pretty funny people and do have potential when it comes to contributing to the comedic aspect of the show. One criticism I do have in regards to the show is that it's sort of over-the-top edgy to the point of being a bit comical. A lot of that relates to the character designs. Like, I get the whole concept and plot is set in hell and all these characters are demons, but Jesus Christ, guys, some of these characters are so ridiculously over-designed that I would not say it's unreasonable to assume you're on an acid trip while viewing some of the clips I'm showing you in the background. Like, why did they think it was necessary to put this much detail into every individual character to make them look as dark and edgy as possible? I guess there's a market for this kind of style since a lot of young people online appeal to this edgy shit, but there are points where it just gets too stupid and it starts getting legitimately annoying. Now, I'm not gonna judge all these characters to the fullest extent because we're like one episode in and we haven't had a lot of time to develop every single one of them. All I'm saying is that they should probably consider a few questions while moving forward, like, is there a purpose for these characters to look the way they do? Do we, as an audience, get anything out of this detail? Is it becoming style over substance? How is this going to affect your budget? Are you or your teammates eventually going to get sick of having to animate these over-designed characters? Animate these over-designed characters? Do we, as your teammates, eventually going to get sick of it? No pressure. Another problem I have with it is the sound effects, which is odd because it wasn't an issue until the pilot episode was out. What I mean is, before the full episode was released, they were uploading small teaser clips of the show to get everyone hyped. And the first time I viewed the full pilot episode, there was a very noticeable increase in sound effects, and they really fucking overkilled it. Here's a before and after comparison of the same scene from the teaser clips in the pilot episode.
Time is money, so I'll keep this short. You're not here because we wanted you here. You're here because Jeffrey couldn't make it for his cannibal cooking segment. You might be some royal big shot, but that doesn't mean shit to me. I'm too rich and too influential to give a flying fuck about what some tuck-swearing demon princess wants to advertise. So don't get cute with me, honey, or I will fucking bury you.
And we're live!
Welcome back!
Okay, let's see if you could spot the difference in this next clip.
Time is money, so I'll keep this short. You're not here because we wanted you here. You're here because Jeffrey couldn't make it for his cannibal cooking segment. You might be some royal big shot, but that doesn't mean shit to me. I'm too rich and too influential to give a flying fuck about what some tuck-swearing demon princess wants to advertise. So don't get cute with me, honey, or I will fucking bury you.
And we're live!
Welcome back! So, Charlotte.
It's Charlie.
Like, it sounded just fine in the teaser clips, but then they decided to add a bunch of extra sound effects. Why?
Your credibility? What about the hotels? Your little stunt made us look like a fucking joke.
No, babe. Jokes are funny. I made you look, sad and pathetic.
I was fully invested in the scene already. Why do you feel the need to add a bunch of shitty Johnny Test sound effects to keep your audience interested? They don't add anything to the show, and sometimes it even gets repetitive. Like, if you took a shot every time you heard a stock sound effect of a tiger growling, you'd fucking die in 2 minutes. The thing is, the creators have actually responded to this issue with the justification that older animation studios like Hanna-Barbera and Warner Brothers have had similar overlays and sound effects. And yeah, I guess I see where they're coming from on that, but the thing is, especially in regards to Hanna-Barbera, those shows had much cheaper animation and very little dialogue between characters, so they sort of had to make up for it with a large amount of sound effects. It doesn't really fit in a modern cartoon with smooth, high-quality animation like this. Also, isn't this supposed to be an adult cartoon? It's not like you're trying to keep the attention of little kids. The show itself is entertaining and easy to get invested in. You really don't need to add these extra sound effects. That's another thing too, like, this isn't really a criticism, but is this really an adult-oriented television show? It's obviously targeted to an older audience, but most of the comedy and overall setup seems more geared towards teenagers. The only adults who I think would actually watch this are like really immature millennials who still watch shit like Steven Universe. It's just kind of odd how everyone is treating this as if it's an adult cartoon for mature audiences when it's really not. So that covers my overall thoughts. Now, despite me being a bit cynical, like I said, I actually do really like the show and I am looking forward to future episodes. It's clear that there are a lot of talented and passionate people behind it, and it does serve as a good example for independent creators everywhere. But guys, don't just adamantly defend it like it's the greatest thing ever made just because it has good aspects and is independently funded. And adamantly defending it does not help the creators in the long run. This show has a huge amount of potential, and I want to see these creators succeed and make it even better. Anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like this video, and I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10.